I don't need nobody. Only fuck with niggas from around my way. Fuck how you feel about it. I'm the one who stepping for my section, but they still trying to block it. Had to throw the 8 up on my necklace. Bitch, come try to stop it, bitch. I don't even wash my clothes, cause I ain't never folded. Had to wipe a nigga nose.
We got this DDG situation. I'm gonna say how I feel off the dribble, right? DDG's ex-girlfriend, HALLE, she decided to not only go to court and receive temporary sole custody of their kid, she also took that time to paint a picture and narrative of DDG. And that picture and narrative she painted of my boy DDG is basically a slime ball. A slime ball who needs some damn milk. Cause word around, DD is dropping folks' head off in the steering wheel. Now, y'all want to know, do Big 8 believe that bull? I really don't believe any hardcore disputes in the beginning of any custody situation, especially when it comes to a kid. I don't be believing none of it. Man, if a relationship toxic, bro, it's toxic from both ends, in my opinion, bro. It ain't toxic one way. Hell nah, toxic on both ends, fam. So if such and such happened to you, shorty, I feel like you did such and such for such and such to happen. You know what I'm saying? Dub did say they both got rich ass lawyers. I mean, expensive lawyers. So it could get messy in court. And that's what's gonna happen though, for sure. Hold up, man. That tap in. I want to see you, bro.
All these documents, y'all ain't getting the voice for the people right now. Y'all getting Kim from New York, okay? Did she put the air tag in the vitamin bottle in the car? HALLE, child, I was reading it like, oh my God. Child was popping up at the movie theater using the air tag. Okay, let's go do the beginning. So HALLE originally filed for full custody and a restraining order and child support. And she also asked the judge, can she take her son to Italy because she has to go to work for 2 months. And she's supposed to leave June 7th. And DDG today filed for a restraining order in full custody. And he's also asking the judge not to allow her to go to Italy because he's saying that she self-harmed herself and that she has repeatedly done this throughout their relationship, basically saying that the child is not protected in her custody, so she might not even go to Italy come June 7th. But when I tell you I read all these pages and my mouth was on the floor, and I mean he had text message after text message. Child, what the hell? Okay, so this started from March 2022. This is before the pregnancy. This is their first incident.
I got my little ones. I ain't gonna count to you. So DD, I already know how I feel. That's it. It get annoying though. You see what just happened? But shit, I got my little ones. Shit, I went through a whole legal battle, so I'm already knowing how messy this situation could get, bro. But what I can say before we even see all of this, bro, when I speak on this stuff, bro, I'm speaking through experience, bro. It get worse before it gets better. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that to say this. First off of what we just seen so far, right? Pay attention. I see, bruh, she supposed to be going out of town June 7th, famo. June 7th, and he filed this order, if not yesterday or the day before yesterday, and you trying to stop her 2 days prior to going to Italy, which she already created plans and all that, fam. I think they're gonna deny this, bro. I think they gonna deny this, bro. I could be wrong though, but I feel like they gonna deny it due to the fact, okay, he filed on violence restraining order filed on June 3rd. June 3rd, bro. So like 4 days. Man, the judge gonna look at your ass like, bitch, you should have came earlier. My opinion. You feel me? I could be tweaking though, cause they got paper. They got different type of cheese. You know what I'm saying? They probably got a whole different situation.
When I tell you I read all these pages and my mouth was on the floor, and I mean he had text message after text message. Child, what the hell? Okay, so this started from March 2022. This is before the pregnancy. This is their first incident where she didn't trust him. She basically was accusing him of cheating, and they got into this big argument, and he left, and she said that she was going to off herself. So she was basically using this tactic to try to get him to come back and, you know, make him feel guilty for leaving in the first place. So she has been doing this throughout their relationship. Then DDG also mentioned when he and Ruby Rose, and Halle was very upset. They got into this big, huge argument behind it. She ended up texting, well, he didn't put who the person was, but Baby Rich already hinted at it already. She ended up texting Brent Fires that night to go to a Grammys party just to get back at DDG. Now, DDG was done with the relationship at that point, but she was trying to get, even though she did that, she was trying to get back with him, and she yet again was using the self-harming tactic that she does. But now let's talk about the actual pregnancy. One night,
Bruh, why the hell I can't believe the Halle Bailey, the mermaid, bruh. Hold up, y'all. Nah, you lying. You lying.
These waters, what would I pay to...
Yo, I need to spend the day in the sand for real, for real. Baby boo, hold up now. This is the mermaid we talking about, fam. Shorty. Copyright violation waiting for, oh hell no. Now we good on that. But bro, y'all look, man. How the hell could you go from this to this? At this point, we all fucked up. We all a little fucked up. I don't give a damn how good you look for the media. Everybody got some BS going on, cause there's no way. There's no way, baby girl.
Halle called DDG and said that she was bleeding and having cramps. So he called the GYN, and this was early on in her pregnancy. He called the GYN and found out that she took an abortion pill, and that's why she was bleeding and cramping, because she was trying to get rid of the baby, because she was upset. And according to DDG, she was using the pregnancy to try to manipulate him. You know, when he didn't do what she wanted him to do, she would threaten him and say that she's gonna get rid of the baby. And they already had a conversation about co-parenting if things didn't work out. I guess Halle didn't want to do that, so she had the pill without notifying him, and then he found out about it, and then, you know, they got into this argument, and then he didn't want to talk to her no more. But then she felt some type of way about the situation, and she wanted to really be with him. And now she's trying to go to the medical appointments so she can keep her baby and make sure that the baby wasn't harmed, which she kept reassuring DDG that the baby was okay. The pill didn't do anything because she didn't take the second pill. But at this point, he was upset, because if we already had a discussion and you got upset, and based off of you getting upset for that very moment, and you ready to make a big change or make this drastic decision without me, like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just, child, was just a lot. So fast.
Did Shorty really just say it ain't nothing for real? Cause I had to take the second pill to complete it. I ain't kill him, but I injured him a little bit. You feel me? The second pill would it? Nah. How the hell? How on earth could you even feel comfortable saying that? That's like saying, yeah, I shot the nigga, but I could have shot him twice. He stayed alive. I only shot him once. That's not considered attempt murder? You hear what I'm saying? Am I tripping? Damn, you attempted to take little bro up out of there. Nah. Hell no. This situation becoming a little bit scary a little bit. Hold up, bro. What the hell? She tried to execute little bro?
They ended up getting back together. More toxic shit was going on. They ended up getting into an argument again. They ended up breaking up. At this point, Halle is well off into her pregnancy, and they're now broken up again. And DDG, who now has more time on his hands, is going to the studio. He's hanging out with his friends. And there was an incident where he went to a movie theater. Halle popped up at the movie theater because he was there with a girl, but he said in the statement that this was just a friend. But Halle is like 6+ months at this point. So she's very upset because they're not together, and then you're out and about with somebody else. But he not knowing how she even knew that they were at this movie. Come to find out, she was putting air tags in all his cars. DDG was wondering why he was getting notification that an air tag was tracking him when he didn't have an air tag. It was her air tag. She put it in the car inside of a vitamin bottle, knowing he wasn't gonna look at no vitamin bottle. And she put it inside of the car, and the air tag was tracking where he went. When Halle arrived at the movie theater, sis was turning up. Okay, sis was screaming before she even got in. She opened the door and didn't even know where he was at. She said, "Motherfucker, motherfucker, bitch." Sis was going off using every profanity word she could think of inside that movie theater. It was so bad that DDG and the girl had to get up and leave, where she ended up following behind them and was still cursing them out, calling them all type of names, trying to.
Hold up, bro. I don't believe this shit. But there's no way, bro. Bro, y'all not talking about this girl. There's no way y'all talking about her. She in the sand. She warm in the sand. Listen. Yeah, at that point, I don't trust nobody, because there's no way. The mermaid? Nah, y'all tweet.
Hands on the girl. The girl had to kind of move it. You know, she ain't trying to fight Halle, because at this point, Halle is good and pregnant at this point. She got a whole belly. I don't even understand how we didn't even capture this footage. Okay, where was the people at in the movie theaters? Child, you know, something like that. People ready. They don't even know who you are. They ready to throw their camera up. The Little Mermaid was turning up in the movie theater, honey. She ain't care about who the hell she was at that moment. Y'all was about to feel this wrath. Now let's fast forward a little bit, because after she gave birth to HALLE, before she even gave birth to HALLE, at this point DDG felt like he had to be with her in order for her not to do something to harm their child or herself. And she knew this, and she was trying to use this as a manipulation tactic to try to keep him, basically, because at that point he was done with her. You screaming at me, you're beating on me, you pulling out knobs, you're trying to cut me up. Child, DDG at some point was done, but he couldn't be completely done, because now.
Hold up, bro. Let's read these messages real quick. I hate you. You are the most horrible person I've ever met. Nah. I wish I didn't have to fight with you, but you continue to let me down every time. And Ren soak about exchange my son and money deal for views. What? And openly flirt. ABD help every other woman in the world but me. What? This is not Halle. Hell no. She's so pissed off she ain't even typing correctly. You hate me and want me to. Nah. Okay, she tripping on that one. I want to. Nah. She want us. What? Because of you? She trying to go back to the sea. She's trying to go be a mermaid again. I will, because of you. I don't want to say that word, because she just, why she saying it with all capital letters? When somebody do this, bro, and they say such and such with all capital letters, fam, they damn now too serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, she done up and smoke herself today. That's not right. I have to go. I've been so nice. I've been calm. I've not broken your property or anything. I have to go. I'm pregnant and you're trying to cause me more stress for no reason. I said this morning, respectfully, I'm not arguing with you anymore. You want to be petty? You can be petty by yourself. Stop blocking me. Okay, I gave you a chance. You've ruined my whole day. I have to work. Your computer is broken now. Goodbye. Oh, damn. She done took my boy computer up and through there. Oh, they toxic. Hey, so I'm going to stop calling now. You cheated on me. I literally caught you with another girl last night. No. Damn, Halle tripping. You broke my boy computer? No. I don't know about y'all, bro, but I'm just still lost that, bro. Like, this the mermaid, fam. This the mermaid acting like this, bro. This the mermaid, fam. But I can admit, DDG did a wonderful job by keeping this under the radar, because I ain't know none of this was going on. I wouldn't even be able to tell. Was y'all able to notice? Because I ain't see none of this. Y'all probably had to be super tuned in to peep what was going on, because I ain't peep. I'm going to keep it $150.
Child, DDG at some point was done, but he couldn't be completely done, because now you done welcomed a baby in this situation. They had the baby, right? And everything was going well. They were still trying to make things work. And then another incident happened where they got into another argument, and now firearms were pulled out because DDG has a firearm and Halle knows that, and she stays in the house. Allegedly, she pulled out the firearm because he already left the house and she left the house with the firearm looking for him and wondering where he was at. And according to him, he said that she was insecure. She always thought he was cheating on her. She always thought that he was doing something other than what he was saying. So sis was just... it was just a lot. She's driving in the car after an argument with HALLE in the back. She's crying, yelling at him on the phone. At this point, DDG is scared for his son's life and her life because she's mad and yelling and driving fast, you know, and he's on the phone. He can't do nothing about it. And then another incident kept happening, and then it just keep reoccurring at this point. It's coming too close together. Before, it was like, you know, we had some gaps in between. We have little arguments, blowouts and stuff like that, and it had some time. And now it's reoccurring too fast. Okay, she's hitting him and slapping him in front of the family. She's calling him all type of names. The son is there. He sees this. It's just becoming too toxic. And at this point, DDG had to walk away from the situation. They broke up. They went their own separate ways. This is when she bought her house. He bought his penthouse. But HALLE is saying that she is the primary parent and she's trying to control the situation according to DDG. She doesn't allow DDG to see the child as punishment because he didn't do what she wanted him to do. And at this point, it was becoming tiresome. Y'all know he came to the internet. Now fast forward to the incident that she brought up in her statement when he went to go pick up HALLE, because she said that he could stay overnight. And when he was picking up HALLE and she had HALLE in her arms and she wanted to put the baby in the car, he said in the midst of them having a conversation, he saw that she was getting agitated and frustrated and he really didn't want to have the conversation. And it started to escalate. They started to argue and she refused to get out the car. She ended up locking herself in the car. Then he ended up calling his mom because he didn't know what to do in the situation. So the mom was here for everything. So I'm pretty sure we gonna have the mom testify because he called his mom for everything. Oh, let's go back because there was so much that happened. I forgot about this part. DDG, Halle Bailey, and HALLE went to a Bruno Mars concert, and at the concert, I don't know what happened, but Halle ended up getting upset and she wanted to leave the concert early. So they ended up leaving the concert early, but then they ended up getting into an argument and it got so bad to the point that DDG had to pull over his car and start recording because she started becoming violent while he was behind the wheel, and HALLE is in the car. So at this point, he's recording the whole situation with HALLE in the back, and he has that as proof and evidence to show that she does do these random outbursts. Now, this is just the transcript of what was said on that video, but he has the actual video of Halle going off of him. So DDG is the respondent and she's the petitioner. He said, "You keep hitting me." She said, "You stupid B, you keep hitting me, cheating." So something happened that night where she thought that he cheated on her. I don't know if she was looking through his phone, because he said that in the statement as well, that she would randomly look at his phone. She would destroy his computer, his laptop. She had a problem with everybody that he collabed with. That's why he rarely collabed with women at the time that they were together. But I felt like they both had issues when it came to that, because he had a problem with her kissing and doing things on film, and she had a problem with him collabing with females.
Hold up. Am I tripping, or did she just try to compare kissing? Man, I don't give a what job you got, baby. You ain't finna kiss nobody. Y'all, it's so much technology nowadays where you can make it look like you kissing somebody without kissing them for real. Hold up. Why the hell is you really tongue to tongue with this dude in this scene? Shot the hell now. We ain't going for that. You trill. You know what I'm saying? So like, in that situation, I don't know how I would take it. You know? Some people may call it insecure, but I call it super secure. Hold up, man. We finna secure your lips. It's either you got to do a stunt double, something. You know what I'm saying? So it's justifiable because it's a movie. That what we saying? All right, so what if she got to do a scene? I'm just supposed to chill because it's a movie? Hell no.
Which I mentioned this before, which a lot of people was like, "Oh no, she don't have no problem." Yes, she does. Secretly, she was yelling at him. She was insecure. She didn't want him to work with other females. And this is why towards the end of their relationship, it didn't work out, because he was trying to collab and get his streaming career up, and she didn't like that. So this is why they had all these issues. Okay, so pretty much he's saying, "You hitting me." She's hitting him. She's calling him all type of names. She's telling him he's cheating, and you know, they're going back and forth. It got to the point where he ended up calling his mom. mom again. And like I said, she has been in the midst of this situation yet again. The mom and George had to pop up and de-escalate the situation because they're going back and forth and it's becoming too toxic. So this was a reoccurring thing throughout their relationship that he mentioned he got evidence for, he got receipts for. Now back to the incident that happened in January when he had to go pick up HALLE from Halle Bailey's house, and Halle Bailey and DDG ended up arguing because they were talking about visitation and a schedule, which I don't know, in my opinion, I just think their careers is too demanding to have a schedule. But anyway, they got into an argument. They were going back and forth. Halle locked herself in the car. DDG called his mom. The mom was trying to de-escalate the situation. It didn't work out. They ended up going back and forth. Finally, some way he got into his car. She got mad. She lunged herself to the front of the car trying to attack him. Ended up hitting her mouth on the steering wheel. He said it wasn't him that hit her mouth. She hit her own mouth when she was trying to lunge at him, and she ended up falling because she was in the middle console and she was trying to attack him, and she ended up falling on the wheel and she hit her mouth, her own mouth. He showed scratches where she scratched him during the altercation because she was trying to grab him, and he was just trying to get away from her. Now the whole ride back to his house, because she said that she stayed in the house, she was quiet. She was in the back seat. She was with their son, and they got to the house. He went inside with his son and she stayed outside and talked to his mom. She talked to the sister. He said he got this on camera, which that's more evidence. And DDG's sister Titi ended up driving her home. They have evidence to show that she was outside the house talking and she was calm. Now this is the part of the text messages that just took me out. Sister said a whole bunch of stuff in the midst of a conversation. This happened August 23rd, 2022. DDG responded to a text message. He said, "Phone is on airplane mode. I'm not letting you ruin my day over that BS. The trust issues are becoming overwhelming. Maybe that's for the best. I put in too much time and effort into making you happy to have to deal with this BS every other day. And in your eyes, you're never wrong. It's frustrating. I'm over it. I'm no longer entertaining this argument. I need to work on becoming more successful like Jay-Z, like you said." What? Sis was trying to get her Jay-Z, baby. Now, this is another text message where Halle is talking. She said, "You put your phone on airplane mode and say you're not dealing with it. But when something bad happens, don't say anything, because this was my attempt to beg you to listen to me, to just answer the phone, to just hear me, and to try to understand where I'm coming from. But you don't, and you'll regret it. You'll regret ever meeting me. Go back to those B's you're used to." So Halle actually texted him after the incident in February. This happened in January when she was saying that her tooth got chipped. She texted him and she talked about the incident. She said, well, he responded. He said, "You didn't talk about HALLE for almost 2 minutes. That whole conversation was about girls. I'm working. I don't know what to tell you." Halle says, "Every day I want to die because of the way you embarrass me online and allow other women to speak on me. I keep going because of how much I love my son." DDG responded, "I have $40,000 in bills every month. I have no choice but to work." DDG responded back, "Send me the clip of the girl disrespecting you. I'll give you $10,000 if you can." Now this happened last year on Mother's Day when she took his weapon and he was trying to get her to come back to the house. She said that she was going home. She was going to pack her stuff, and he texted her, "If you don't come back here, I'm going to call the police. I don't want you to do something stupid. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. You have a son. I know you took my weapon. You're going to let him go through life without a mom? I have to call the police. I can't let this happen."
Like, bro, this top tier wild activity, fam. Like, what can I make of this, bro? Pretty much, bro. Let me let y'all know something. I feel like Halle Bailey didn't really want to take this situation with DDG serious the moment she threw back the perky. I'm gonna be all the way up. The minute she threw back the perky, it was down there over with, bro. Cause like the fact that she even thought about that shows she's been questioning, damn, do I want to have this baby and do I want to be with this dude? The same person that y'all saying not to worry about, it was just a kissing scene and this and that. She probably wanted to date his ass for real, but she started realizing, hold up, this is just a movie. This ain't real life. I need to get my real life together. You dig what I'm saying? And this situation ain't doing nothing but showing me everybody got a little ratchet in them. Everybody, everybody got their ways, bro. And wow, to hear her speak about death that many times is obviously concerning. I feel like it's deeper than just what they talking about on the net. Like, Shorty really going through something, bro. And something may really be bothering her. You dig what I'm saying? Because, like, yeah, she was tweaking a little bit too hard.
Bring my